Hey guys, it's Rhett from the 100 Acre Wood Highlands. We got our embryos delivered today, 6 of them from New York, 3 from Missouri, and so we have an appointment at the vet. Gonna take Rosie, Sarah, and Sansa in to get started on that process. So let's check it out. Come on, cows. You're on the wrong side of the pen. Okay, so I'm going to try to get Rosie. I've already taken Sarah and Sansa to the vet. Couldn't get 3 loaded at once because I was having a hard time getting them all in the trailer. See if I have any better luck this time. Get out. Get out, get out, get out. You two, get out. Come on, get out, get out, get out, get out. Get out, you little steer. Get out, get out. Y'all don't need in here. We're gonna catch that big one. So I think I've kind of identified a few things I want to change on this corral system. Number one, I think I'm gonna get rid of this little side compartment right here. Maybe get one more panel and just go ahead and make it a 40 by 30. The more I think about it and look at it, I don't think I'm gonna use that little small spot, and I think I'd be better off with just a bigger interior pen. One of the other things that I'm thinking about doing is maybe sheeting or tarping the walls of the tub and also this alley. So getting some kind of cover to go down this portion. Because what's happening is the cows are coming in and they're getting nervous in here and they see the other cows out there and they want to try to escape. And so if I could cover this portion to where the only option that they can see out of is this little entrance here, I think it will make it a lot easier getting them to go the direction they want to go. Also, I didn't specifically buy this backup gate here. It just came as part of the system. There's a bunch of things right here that I'm afraid the cows will get their horn caught on. They can work their way around it. So far it's been fine. It just seems like a potential hang-up spot where one of them could get hurt. So I'm thinking about either doing away with this gate or seeing if I can somehow or other make it wider to where there's much more room for the horns to get through. Come on, girls. Get back. Get back. Something else I'm going to try loading this next cow is to have this alleyway wide open to where I can open the entire back gate of the trailer, so that the alleyway is meant to force the cows towards just this gate. And so it's meant to kind of confine them to where the only option is to go through this small little entrance right here. Most of the time, however, when I've loaded the cows, because of their horns, I found it easiest to load them with the gate wide open and then just allow them all the room they need to get their heads in here, get loaded in the trailer, and then I'll just come behind them and shut that gate. So I don't have the ends of this alley fastened with any kind of post or anything yet, so I just spread it wide to where I can open this gate all the way. And I think it's going to allow the cow, once they get their horns through this entryway, to see that they have plenty of room to go on into the trailer. All right, let's see if we can kick a few of these cows out. Moose, no, hey, I'm trying to get cows out of here. Trying to get cows out of here, you included. That's the one I want. I think you've got it figured out. You don't want to go in a trailer, do you? Hey, come on, Rosie, 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 whoa. Looks like I left the barn door open and a couple of the little calves found their way in here. Hey, what y'all kids doing? Get your head of that bucket. You get out of my barn. You're not supposed to be in here. That's kind of funny. Bear, why'd you let those calves get in here, huh? Go. Big girl. Go, 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 go.
Your friend.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
Just try to get one going up there. I thought she'd be our best bet.
That was the first one that loaded. Man, it was a pain in the rear trying to get all three of these cows loaded at the same time down the alley between their horns and just them trying to get out. They did not want to go in the trailer today. It was a huge fiasco trying to do this by myself, but got them back, ready to get them unloaded. We have an appointment 1 week from today. We will take them back and have the next step of the procedure done, and then shortly after that we'll get to put the embryos in. So let's go ahead and let these cows out. Get back, Bear. You're gonna get run over. Back it on up. Back it on up, Rosie. Come on, Sarah. Come on, Sansa. Get out of there. You don't want to stay in that trailer all night. Come on. So it's kind of hard to see it, but all three of them have a little plastic blue cord. That is the CIDR, C-I-D-R, and it is inserted in there and will be removed 1 week from today. When they remove it, they'll give them a shot of something called Ludulase, and it will take a couple of days, like 24, 48 hours for them to go into heat. And my embryos are about 7 days old, so 7 days after we know that they've gone into heat, the vet will insert that embryo, and then we won't really know if it took and is effective or not for 30 to 45 days after that. But here we are starting the 14th of January. If everything goes according to plan, we should have calves on the ground by about the end of October. So I've had quite a few of you guys asking about the embryos, and excited to hear how the results of it are and everything, but I figured I'd share with you what embryos we have, the specific pairings, and where we got them. So right now the first 3 embryos that we are going to try are some sex sorted embryos. So even just at 7 days old, under a microscope, and I don't know how in the world they do it, they're able to look at these embryos and determine with fairly high accuracy that these embryos should be a heifer. Those came out of Missouri. I bought those from a vet out there that raises Highlands. I have 2 out of a cow named FSH Shaker paired with Blackwatch Elvis, and I have 1 with FSH Shaker paired with Constellation of Swain. I'm most excited about these, the fact that they are potentially going to give us a heifer baby. We had all basically bull calves born this year, and I'd like to see some heifers hit the ground, especially when it comes to the registered ones. After that, I tracked down 6 embryos from some older cows out of a guy that owned them, was from Canada, but they were stored here in the US in New York, and we just had them shipped down just recently. But we have 3 Orison of Colfoik by Blackwatch Lucy. Lucy really liked that one because they spell Lucy the same way she spells her name. And we had 1 out of Traffical Victor by Easy Acres Pauline, 1 CBS Yaz Yukon by Easy Acres Pauline, and 1 Traffical Luther by Easy Acres Miracle. So those aren't sex sorted, so we won't know exactly what we're going to get out of those. But cost wise, I'll share with you how much they cost, and it was not cheap. The sex sorted embryos cost $1,500 a piece. So we spent $4,500 getting just 3 embryos out of those. We spent another $4,500 on these additional 6 embryos that are not sex sorted. So $9 grand altogether. If you average it out, it cost us $1,000 a piece, although that's not how they cost individually. But on average, we spent $1,000 per embryo. There is potentially only a 40 or 50% success rate with these embryos for them actually taking. And it's a little scary spending $9,000 on something that I've never done before. I don't know if this is going to work or not. In addition to this cost, we have the vet cost associated with taking them and preparing the cows. It's just, there's work involved in getting that done. But the way I approached buying these embryos was that I wanted to purchase more registered cows. And currently the costs that I've been seeing at market price, or at auction prices for registered heifers, has been $5,000 to $6,000 a piece, if not more, for a registered 6-month-old animal. So I couldn't go out and buy 9 registered heifers, but I could buy 9 embryos. And even with only a 50% success rate, if we got 4 or maybe 5 calves, we would well have got our money's worth. Although the process is longer. Not only do we have to start this process now, it's going to take several weeks by the time the cedar is put in, removed, then wait a week so that their cycle of 7 days after they go into heat matches up with the age of the embryo. But we got to wait about 9 months before the calf is born, and then we got to wait 6 or 7 months before that calf is weaning age, and so it's a lot longer drawn out process. But for me to get my money's worth out of these embryos, I really only need 2 of them to work. If I had 2 calves born out of it, I think I will get my money's worth, especially if they end up being heifers. If they were all bull calves, then maybe I need 3 or 4 of them to work to get my money's worth. But I'm hoping that with 4 or 5 calves born, fingers crossed, that $9,000 investment that we made in buying these embryos will pay off. So while I was at the vet, I talked to her a little bit about my my sweep tub, my new system that I've got set up, and so I figured I'd kind of share with you some of the ideas of what I'm thinking. I liked the idea of having this small little compartment here where I could segregate, and I think where I would find this most useful is when I'm trying to catch a young calf for the first time to put a halter on it, getting them somewhere in a relatively small space where they're not going to get away from me. But I think I can make that work over in my 90 degree on the sweep area. So I think this area would better be served by building maybe another trough right here, or putting a couple of my bunk feeders right here and just extending this wall straight off the edge of the barn and making my interior pen 30 by 40 rather than 30 by 30. I think that will work better than having this little area. One of the other things I was talking to the vet about is I said, you know, when I'm trying to load these cows and I get them in the sweep tub, they see the other cows on the outside of the panels, and that's where they want to go. They don't want to go through the little door and into the alley to get onto the trailer. They want to get out into the pasture with the rest of the cows. And so she said, you know, yeah, if you put up a tarp or if you put some sheet metal siding on these walls, it will kind of make it a little bit easier for them to work their way towards where you want them to go. Also, I think that will prevent them getting their horns through an area where I don't want it to go and run the risk of damaging it, their horns, or hurting themselves. And what I'm wondering if I could do is get some of the kind of like sheet metal panel, like roofing panels that Lowe's and Home Depot sells, and just, I think they're about 3 foot wide, and I'm pretty sure that these panels are 4 foot wide, but I'm wondering if I could just use those and kind of wrap the inside of this to make some walls where they can't see on the outside and force them towards the opening of this sweep tub. The other deal I'm considering is making the entrance to this alleyway a little bit wider. So this is not a huge area for their horns to get through. They can obviously get through it. They just kind of work their horns in here, but I don't necessarily feel like I need them confined to a real narrow alley, especially since the main purpose of this for me is just to have a safer way to load them. So I'm wondering if I could remove this and make this entrance a little bit wider. I don't like this gate for the fact that it doesn't slide back all the way, and so I'm afraid one of them is going to get their horn in through here and then potentially really hurt themselves or break a horn. And that is the last thing I want to do, is get my cows in an area where they could hurt themselves. We purchased this so that there'd be a safer way to handle them. And so I'm thinking about removing this piece because I'm afraid it's going to cause a hang-up spot where they might break a horn or something like that. Hey, little copper. Hey, little copper. What are you doing, little buddy? Isn't he cute? Well guys, the cows have joined the rest of the herd. They're all out here hanging out. They don't know it, but there is a cold front coming tonight. And so I am going to go up and put up an extra bale of hay outside for them so I don't have to do that in the morning. But if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. We'll be giving you guys some updates of the progress of AIing some of these heifers and transferring these embryos, and let you know how we end up doing and how our experience worked out with these cows. But thank you guys so much for watching. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram by searching 100 Acre Wood Highlands. Thanks. We'll see you on the next video.